grappling in terms of concepts. You start figuring out what sort of movements, what sort of positions, what sort of angles give you a lot of leverage, give you a lot of torque and a lot of power. So we're going to depart from looking at armbar setups for just a second and talk about grip breaks, because when we're playing this armbar game, especially when we get the spin under armbar going for us, we start getting good at chasing the armbar. So no matter where I start the armbar, whether I'm starting it from side control or mount or guard, I can funnel it back into that same place. Because if Daryl starts sitting up and driving into me to escape, he starts stacking me, I can spin underneath, get the swim move, flip him over, and then I'm back in that top side armbar battle where he's probably gripping up. He's summoning his inner caveman. He's trying to keep me from breaking that grip, right? So he's keeping that nice and strong. So now, since I'm funneling everything in that direction, I need to have a good strategy for getting through those last-minute defenses, those last-minute obstacles he's going to throw in your way to keep that armbar finish from happening. So Daryl, if you could lay down right here for me, please. Perfect. Scoot this way just a smidge. Excellent. So I'm just going to go ahead and just use a cheat code here and go right to this position. So I'm just gripping up here. So now this is a very common battle to get into where your opponent's gripping up nice and strong. There's a couple different grips you can take. This is probably one of your more common ones. We will talk about a couple different strategies for breaking this up. One thing real quick, if Daryl grabs his wrist here, okay, and this hand sticking out, this is a freebie. I see a lot of people miss this, so I just want to touch on it very quickly. That hand sticking out, just hug that arm, is catch that wrist and just peel it right away. It's really quick grip to break. So if that happens, you can go and say thank you. This is going to be a quick match. Most of the time they're going to do this gable grip. That's kind of their fundamental grip. Yeah, we'll just do this one for now. Right. So most of these setups, I'm going to start with if you're playing the spin under game especially, I'm going to start with my left arm through, and end up hanging out here. Whether I'm grabbing my bicep and controlling his wrist, some people like to control the leg here because it keeps him from bridging a little bit, keeps him stalled out. Me personally, like I'm not saying this is wrong, it's just my preference. I prefer to be through here, controlling this way. So I have my top hand free. And it sets up a couple different things. And this is one of them. So whenever I make that switch, so if I use the sweep here, and I make that switch, I want to keep both arms in and then pull an arm out. I never want to go and try and switch because Daryl's going to be gone pretty quick. So here, punching through, hugging it nice and tight. You grab your bicep. You can grab your own gi if you want. I don't like the bicep or the shoulder. If I grab the shoulder, it keeps me kind of hugged in nice and tight. I'm trying to keep my hips nice and deep on that arm, right? And all my hips will start going this way. It's going to be bad news for me. I want to keep my hips nice and tight to his shoulder. Grabbing here, I control his wrist. So it's almost like a Kimura grip, right? It's like a figure four almost. Very similar, very close to it. So whenever I get this grip, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to snug this arm nice and deep. Because right now, Daryl's elbow is kind of leaning towards going downward. And as more his elbow goes downward, the easier it is for him to escape. So when I get this grip, I'm going to kind of make like a swoosh motion, like almost like an upside down fish hook with my arms. I'm going to suck it in, back, and up. And as I suck it up, I'm going to push down with this hand. Here. Almost like bicep slicer pressure on this elbow. Get this arm nice and deep. So again, I'm here. I'm just kind of shrugging my shoulders up. Get his arm nice and through. Let's be wedged a little bit deeper, giving me a lot of pressure, a lot of control. It's a little bit easier to do this way with this particular grip. And this sets up my next attack. So when I'm here, I go, my first grip break is, I call it the Americana torque, because I'm bending his arm like an Americana. We know that the Americana works because his shoulder is not physically built to be strong this way. We know that if I take it far enough this way, it gets weak, and a little bit farther, it's going to break. So I use that knowledge to make this grip break effective. So I'm here, now with this in position, I'm going to start crawling forward. And as I crawl forward, I'm kind of using this hand to stuff his elbow in my armpit. So it's the armpit closest to his knees. And go here. Crawling forward. Daryl's gripping up nice and tight. Yeah, get up nice and high. Now my wrist is almost my, like those weird little nubby wrist bones you have. Like, I don't know what they do, like this thing. It's pretty close to his wrist bone. Nice and tight. I don't want to be all the way back in the bend of his elbow. I'm up nice and high. Keep my head right next to his hand. Everything's nice and low. I'm not making space in here, nice and cinched up. Now when I bend this, I'm going to be pretty mean. I'm going to try and put my head right here. I'm not extending backwards. I'm going straight to the side, all balled up. You'll notice it bends his arm like this. So I'm going to go like this. Boom. Nice and hard. Get that break. Now when you do that, see how his arm's kind of bent like an Americana? If I just go from here and just start straightening it out, it's going to be pretty rough on his elbow. So if you're friends with the person you're rolling with, you should be nice. Here, choke up nice and high. Using this grip, a little bit of a pry here. Using my body weight mostly. I'm taking my head right next to his. Boom. Straighten it out, get my armbar finish. I'm able to do that because I understand why an Americana works, right? I understand why an Americana is strong. So I take that knowledge and start looking to apply it in different places.